Hello there, happily married woman. It is Dr. Siobhan here, and I hope you've had a good day. Today has been crazy busy for me. Today was all about family day. We took the kids to a place here in Jersey called the Land of Make Believe. I don't know if any of you have been there, but it's a little amusement park for little kids. And my daughter and I rode the rides, little kiddie rides, which honestly is about all that I can do. But we all of us, got in the pool area, which was a huge pool area, and it was a lot of fun. But my hair got totally wet. Now, usually when I go to pools or beaches, I usually, just like dip my toe in there. I don't really deal with getting my hair all wet. And today, I threw caution to the wind and just lived in the moment and had fun with my children. And so that has created a very wet head. Hey, Franchon. That's created, let me make sure my volume is up actually. That's created a very wet head for me. So I usually don't wear my hair curly. I usually wear it straight because I don't know how to do it. I just don't know how to do my hair anymore. So if you're noticing the new do, that's why, because we went to an amusement park with a pool and I got all wet and my hairdresser appointment is tomorrow. So anyways, that's not why I came on to talk to you. I wanted to just come on really, really quick tonight with 3 questions. This is almost like a happily married woman pop quiz, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to listen to these 3 questions that I'm going to ask you, and I'll just let you answer them, and then I'm going to loop back around and give you my thoughts about what your answers might be, and I'll let you know if you pass the test or not, okay? So, right, our lives, some good days, some bad days, some good moments, some bad moments. What I want you to do is I want you to think about something that you're grappling with in your life right now. If it could be related to your marriage, that would be great because this is a pop quiz for happily married woman. But if everything in your marriage is great, I'm so happy for you, and I don't want to stir up any unnecessary negativity. So if everything is great in your marriage and you have no issues that you're really stressed out about or worried or anxious or upset about, then great. Then apply these questions to any other area in your life that maybe is not exactly how you want it to be. But if you are in a place where maybe, your marriage may be just in a little bit of a rut or in a funky place or in, this weird phase right now, or maybe things are really not so great right now, I want you to think about these questions, okay? So again, this is Happily Married Woman, and we are all about being intentional, about thinking positively, about looking within ourselves at what we can do to change the situations in our lives, right? So that was like your cheat sheet to this quiz and to these 3 questions, okay? So, hi. Oh, you like my hair? Thank you. My hairdresser has been trying to get me to wear it natural for a while, and we tried it one time, but I didn't like it. But this, I actually could probably deal with this if I had like the right product and all of that stuff, and she did it up nice. Because I see a lot of people with curly hair, and it looks great. So thank you, Franchon. Thank you for that. Okay, so our quiz, right? We're back to our pop quiz, happily married woman. So I want you to think about an issue, concern, challenge, whatever, related to your marriage, and I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions, and I'm going to give you some insight into them on the back end of this live stream, okay? Hi, Miss Scott Lewis. Murda. I hope I said that right, Murda. I know you can't tell me, and I can't hear you if you were telling me if I said your name right, but maybe you can like type it in phonetically so that I can say it correctly, because I would love to, because right now all I'm seeing is Miss Scott Lewis. That I can pronounce. Okay, back to our quiz, right? You guys are distracting me. You're distracting me. So remember when like you were younger and like you get the note from the teacher that was like, come see me after class, right? I wish I had some like spectacles and I could say that. Come see me after class. Mirda. Okay, Mirda. I hope I got it right that time. So consider me like that teacher, right? That teacher that's like, if you don't get this right, I'm going to be like, see me after class, okay? So again, you're thinking about an issue in your marriage that maybe is not resolved, or something in your marriage that's not quite going exactly how you would like it. And if you're joining us live, just say hello. Just, hit the like button, say hello, something to let me know that you're here, that class is officially in session for this pop quiz that we're all having together. All right, I'm going to get to these questions. I keep talking. The first question, right? So you're considering something in your marriage that may not be going exactly the way you want, something that's a little unsettled or you still need to work through, or just a phase that maybe you find yourself in right now. Okay, so the first question is, I want you to think about that issue and think about how you feel, right? Think about when it's on your mind or when it's sort of lurking in the background, how you feel knowing that that is on your mind, right? So just think about whatever it is, just spend a moment, like go to that place and just think about how you feel, right? Think about how you feel right now, how you feel in particular moments with your husband where maybe you're triggered in a certain way. And the first question of our pop quiz, hey Lauren, it's good to see you here. You caught me live. Oh my goodness, you caught me live. So think about, here's the question, all right? You're thinking about an issue, something not going right in your marriage, and I want you to ask yourself the first question. The first question of the quiz is, why am I choosing to feel this way? Kind of a trick question, right? So I just asked you to think about something that maybe isn't going the way you would like in your marriage, something that is not quite where you want it to be. Maybe it's a small issue, maybe it's a big issue, but think about how it makes you feel when that issue is triggered, or when you have some sort of less than positive interaction with your husband, or when you think about that thing, right? Sometimes we can get in the cycle of like ruminating and thinking over and over again and replaying the same situation in our mind 1,000 times over. So the first question of this pop quiz is, why are you choosing to feel that way? And I just want you to answer it, like mentally answer it. Write it, your answer, in a note in your phone, write it on a scratch piece of paper, whatever. The question is, why are you choosing to feel that way? All right? Why are you choosing to feel that way? And I'm going to give you the answers at the end, okay? So that's question number one. Question number two, okay, you're still thinking about that issue. You're still thinking about whatever it is that's going on. It's not quite exactly what you want it to be. And try to just pick one thing, right? Just focus on one thing. You can ask these questions to any other situation, but for now, just focus on one thing. And so question number two is, how would life be if I didn't think that way? Okay, so we know the power of our thoughts, and we know that when things aren't going right, we sort of begin to think about things in a certain way. We think about our husbands in a certain way. We think about our marriage in a certain way. We think about ourselves in a certain way. So I want you to sort of take an assessment of the thoughts that run through your mind when you have that issue, right? When that surfaces for you or when you're triggered. And I want you to ask yourself now, how would life be if I didn't think that way? So I want you to imagine that you could just erase that issue, erase the thinking you have around that issue, and just start with like a clean slate. How would life be for you? What would be different? How would you interact with your husband? How would you see your husband? How would you, respond to your husband if that thinking, that way of thinking was like completely eradicated? Okay? Just like daydream for like a hot second. All right, got it? Sure? Okay, all right. So that was question number two. So question number one was, why am I choosing to feel this way? Question number two is, how would life be if I didn't think that way? Okay. Oh, I'm seeing the emojis. Someone put an angry face. I don't know what that means. Tell me what that angry face means. And question number 3, it's just a 3-question pop quiz. Question number 3 is, what would it take in order for me to let this go? Right? We all know that we should just sometimes let things go and move on, release the resentment, offer forgiveness, offer grace, offer compassion. We know that, right? But it's hard. It still makes it really, really hard. And so my question, this 3rd question of our pop quiz is, what would it take? Like, what would it take for you to truly let this go? To not hold it against your husband, to not hold it against yourself, to not let it bring you down, to not let it impact and influence the way that you guys interact with each other. What would it take? What would it take for this to be a non-issue for you? Okay? Think about it. Seriously, think about it right now. You're having like a mini coaching session. Class is in session. Okay? Happily married woman class is in session. If that's what you want to be, right? Because that's what this is all about. So question number 1, again, why am I choosing to feel this way? When you think about that issue, like, how does it make you feel? Why are you choosing that? Why are you choosing to feel that way? Question number 2 is, how would life be if I didn't think this way? How would life be if I didn't think this way? And question number 3 is, what would it take in order for me to let this go? What would it take? You got your answers? Give me some likes if you think you got some answers, right? May not be the right answers, but you got something down or you thought about it in some way, shape, or form, okay? Now, here's the reveal. So I mentioned earlier that this is like, you know, I was channeling those moments when we were like in grade school and you had the note from your teacher, like, see me after class, right? So I'm going to give you the answers to this pop quiz. And I want you to pay close attention if you are one of those people that need to see me after class. Because literally I can't, you know, like hand you a note right now. But if you don't get all 3 of them right, you probably need to see me after class. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. You probably need to see me after class, which means we need to get on the phone, we need to have like a mini consultation, and we need to get this right. Because we're striving to be happily married women, right? That's what this group is all about. All right, so question number 1. Why am I choosing to feel this way? Now, the answers I'm going to give you are actually only the wrong answers, quote unquote wrong answers, right? There's no real right or wrong answers, but the answers that I'm going to give you now are the answers that if these are similar to the answers that you had, that's a telltale sign that we need to talk, that you and I need to have a conversation, and you probably need to see me after class, okay? So if you got these answers I'm about to share or something very close to it, then you need to just sort of like raise your hand and say, okay, Siobhan, we probably need to talk, okay? So if for question number 1, you answered, why am I choosing to feel this way? If your response was something along the lines of, but I'm not choosing to feel this way. But like, I can't help it. Like anybody in the same position would feel this way. Like I'm justified in feeling this way. Right? I'm not choosing it. I wouldn't choose to feel this negative way towards my husband. I wouldn't choose to feel sad about this situation. I'm not choosing it. I don't really have a choice in the matter. That if anyone else was in the same circumstance, that's what they would do. Like, how else am I supposed to react? How else am I supposed to feel when this happens? Right? So if that was your answer, you need to see me after class and we need to talk. Okay? Because I want to help you feel better. I want to help you get some perspective and see this in a completely different way, whatever it is, because you can. Okay, so that's the answer to question number 1. Question number 2, how would life be if I didn't think this way? If you answered something along the lines of, I don't even know how life would be if I didn't think this way, or I can't even imagine a different reality for myself, or I wouldn't even know where to begin if I didn't think this way. This is how I've always thought. This is how I was brought up to think, right? I can't imagine thinking any other way about it, right? If your answers were anywhere in that ballpark, you need to see me after class. We need to talk. Okay? Because that means that your mind is in a place where it's so closed that you can't even imagine a different possibility, which means you're cutting yourself off in all likelihood from the very thing that you actually want. And we need to talk, right? Because you don't want that. You don't want to feel this way. You don't want to continue to think this way. You want to be able to imagine and really truly believe that you can have all that you're dreaming of, hoping for, praying for in your marriage. And I would love to help you get some perspective on how to do that. Okay, so that was question number 2. Question number 3 in our Happily Married Woman pop quiz. What would it take in order for me to let this go? Right? So, if you answered anything along the lines of, well, my husband would just need to do fill in the blank, or things would just have to change in this way, or, you know, he'd have to stop doing this, or we would have to learn how to do X, right? If you had any answer other than something internal, any answers other than something you need to do in terms of your own self-development, in terms of your own growth and evolution, then you need to see me after class. We need to talk. Because being a happily married woman and really achieving all that you want and desire in your marriage first starts within, right? I always say that happiness is an inside job, and that my role as your coach is to help you create a happy, loving, fulfilling marriage without having to make over your husband. That means he can be, do, think, say, whatever it is he's going to be, do, think, and say, and you can manage that. You can manage yourself. You can manage your emotions. You can navigate it with grace because you're looking inward at how you respond. You're looking inward at how you think. You're looking inward at the actions you're taking, not him. So, do we need to talk? Do you need to see me after class? How'd you do on the quiz? How did you do? Right? Tell me in the comments. If you're brave enough, tell me in the comments if you got 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. How are you doing? Right? And I do this. This is all, you know, a fun, hopefully engaging way to do a live stream for you all. But you know that I care about you, right? You know that I have you on my heart and my mind. It is 10:57. I am exhausted. And yet, I had to come on, right? I had to come on because I'm so driven. I'm so driven to help us as women have thriving marriages, right? We don't want a marriage that just survives. I feel like that was our parents' generation, that they just stay together for 30, 40, 50 years because they just stay together for 30, 40, 50 years. But we are women with God-sized dreams for our lives, and our marriage is a part of that. And we don't want some ho-hum marriage. We don't want to stay together for the sake of saying we stay together. We want to thrive together. And so much of that hinges on what it is we do internally, how it is that we're growing, that we're, you know, stretching ourselves, opening our minds, opening our heart, and choosing to love in the face of some really difficult moments, to love our husbands, right? So let's see here. Okay, we have Lauren saying, not as bad as I thought. Okay, Lauren, good. Phew. All right, Vivian, you said, girl, was I telling the truth, Vivian? Was I telling the truth? I know I was, probably. Don't need to go to the principal's office. Okay, Franchon, good. I'm glad you don't need to go to the principal's office. Where you hear like that sometimes. Oh, thank you. you enjoyed and took a lot from my last conference call. I'm so grateful that you did. I'm so grateful that you shared that, and I'm so glad that you did. I hope that you're still applying those principles. And all day, I couldn't stop my mind from thinking about new conference calls that I'm going to do really, really soon. So definitely stay tuned. I have about like 3 in the works. So I don't want you guys to miss any of those. So make sure you're here in the group, turn your notifications on, make sure you're getting my emails, any which way you can connect with me. Make sure you do that because I don't want you to miss some of the great, great calls that I have coming up. I'm so excited about them. All right, so it seems like, this class, at least the people that are commenting, passed their test, right? And I want you to keep passing it. I want you to keep passing it. If you didn't pass the test so well, or if there's one particular area that you're like, you know what, it's probably time that I really just nip that in the bud so I can ace this course of being a happily married woman, let me know, right? Post a comment, send me a direct message, friend request me, send me a message there, email me. I am available to you. I'm available to you to help you. And I hope that you will take me up on that offer. All right, so there you have it. 3 questions to ask yourself now. Why am I choosing to feel this way? What would life look like if I didn't think this way? And what would it take in order for me to let this go? You can apply those 3 questions to anything you're grappling with, struggling with, concerned about in your life. And I hope and pray that they will open your mind and help you move forward in a better direction. Yep, Miss Scott Lewis. Need to nip it in the bud. Mirda. I have to really imprint that in my mind. Mirda. Yeah, so we should talk, Mirda. I'm here. Send me a direct message. Let's get something scheduled. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Now listen, if you haven't gotten my book, Voices in Your Ear, you better get it. You better get it. That will help you nip things in the bud for sure, for sure. So you can definitely check that out on my website at berelatable.com/voices. I will drop it in the comments because I want no barriers to any of you getting that book if you so desire. And I'm autographing them still, so make sure you do that. All right, thank you, ladies, so much for tuning in. It's great to have so many on you, actually, many of you on live with me. And so I'll be back. Maybe I'll be back here tomorrow. Maybe I'll be back on my Relatable business page. I'm not quite sure. We'll see where the Spirit leads and guides me. But have an incredible night, and I will talk to you sometime soon. Bye.